Guys, what's up? It's Thomas. Tonight we are here back with the kill count with a 1972 film called Frogs. I'll be honest, like I said, never heard of this one. And no, not just because I, don't watch horror movies. I legit never thought this would happen. So, from the title alone, I guess, kill the frogs. We're about to find out what the heck is this weird-ass movie. So, without further ado, be sure to like, subscribe for more. Hope you enjoy. Let's see what's going on here.
Hey everybody, real fast, I want to introduce you all to Molly. She's the newest member of the Dead Meat family. She was my dad's dog, and now she's ours. You can see her on every podcast episode, and I'm sure she'll be showing up in sketches and sponsor bits. Her and Lucy are still learning to get along, but you know what? I think we'll get there. All right, just wanted you to meet Molly.
James's dad passed away, I remember. Rest in peace.
Welcome to the Kill Count, where we tally up the victims in all our favorite horror movies. I'm James A. Janice, and tomorrow is Earth Day, so to celebrate, we're looking at Frogs, released in 1972. And yes, it takes place on the 4th of July, but its message is more relevant for Earth Day. That's because Frogs is an eco-horror kind of creature feature, with a bunch of rich polluters getting killed by all sorts of animals. Snakes, lizards, crocs, spiders, scorpions, turtles, crabs, pretty much every animal. Except, well, frogs. I mean, they're there, hopping around and croaking relentlessly in the background. But there definitely ain't any hand-eaten frogs like we see on the movie's memorable poster. Chelsea and I covered this on the podcast a few years ago during our Creature Feature Summer series. I loved Frogs, mostly because it features a large family of despicable rich folk.
We are the ugly rich.
It's the same kind of sprawling blue blood family tree you find in stuff like Knives Out and The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. I'm a sucker for stories with extended families of conniving characters, from Game of Thrones to Succession to Arrested Development. Frog's Crockett family fits right alongside the Roys and Bluths. The Crocketts have made their riches with factories that pollute the environment. As they celebrate a bunch of their birthdays on their estate, they wind up entertaining an ecologist/nature photographer named Pickett Smith. Smith's played by a Sam Elliott, who's so young he hasn't grown into Sam Elliott yet. Dude's 28 here and distractingly attractive, even if his face looks entirely different without a stash. My brain can't even rectify that this is the stranger from The Big Lebowski. Frogs is super 70s, super schlocky, and wears its environmental message on its sleeve.
I still believe man is master of the world.
Does that mean he can't live in harmony with the rest of it?
There's no nuance here, but the two main characters are forceful and compelling thanks to Sam Elliott and Oscar-winning actor Raymond Milland, who plays the family patriarch Jason Crockett. They keep one foot of the movie on the ground, while the other's auditioning for the Rockettes. This shit gets ridiculous is what I'm trying to say. I mean, murderous reptiles kill someone with poisonous gas, and then laugh about it, I'm pretty sure. It's a quick watch with fun characters, silly kills, and even some wildlife photography. I remember my photography days. Ooh, look over there. Wild Raycons from today's sponsor. Oh, and over there, too. I bet that guy's rocking out in noise isolation mode to enjoy the D&D podcast without the disturbance of an unsleeping city. Whoa, another Raycon listener. It's a whole Raycon habitat. Though with 50,000 5-star reviews and custom gel tips providing the perfect in-ear fit, I can't say I'm surprised. Time was always short on those safari trips, but one more shot couldn't hurt.
Hey, Zoran.
Shit, what a find! I've spotted the fabled Zoran in his natural environment. Oh no, did he use up all 8 hours of playtime? Sad to see, but maybe if we're really quiet, we can witness one of nature's great miracles. Yep, there it is. A photographer dreams of a moment like this. See, since Raycons cost half the price of comparable earbuds, Zoran was able to buy a pair and a spare for the same price as just one of their big-name competitors. So now he doesn't have to go tuneless, waiting for those buds to charge. I wonder what he's listening to. Should have known. You can snap up your own Raycons at the link in the description, or go to buyraycon.com/deadmeat to get 15% off your Raycon order. Now let's get froggy like a Terry and count up some kills, motherfroggers!
What? Frog it up like a Terry? I'm like, what? So, Pluto's getting some karmic justice. This ought to be fun. So, you think Sam Elliott's the one behind it all? Come on. Kinda obvious. Well, if you ever wanted to see Mother Nature fight back against the rich, this is definitely the one for you. I feel like I'm gonna enjoy this. Yee! Why'd I say that? I don't know. Anyway, might as well see how many reptile kills happen here in Frogs. Let's go! And the witness that follows the Crockett.
The movie begins with that PG rating. PG for pretty green. Nature photographer Pickett Smith is
the
drifting
parental
down the river
guidance
playing
stuff.
Pokemon Snap when he sees a critter he's never captured before. The elusive tunnel car.
There it
4
is.
stars. That is large and in the center. Professor Mir loved
Fantastic.
that shit. Smith's photos change from fauna to Garbo as he comes across a bunch of floating trash and chocolate fountains. Augustus, save some for later. In the same lake are a pair of
Don't
rich
think that,
siblings
so.
boozing and boating, with no one looking like a skiing hunchback. Jeez, really, man? It doesn't even look comfortable to drink right now. Chugs McGee nearly hits the hero and knocks him out of his boat, but that Smith's a little schemer and pulls him into the water with him. We're all having fun here. This is Clint Crockett and his sister Karen, who knows she just hit the
Clint and Karen
jackpot. Look at
Crockett.
Sam Elliott. The hunk gets invited to the Crockett family home / onesie pajama emporium, where Karen models their wares. They offer him some dry clothes and temporary respite from all the damn croaking going on. These frogs won't shut the fuck up.
Jesus Christ, so many of
is
them.
played by the Wesley House, the center point of Eden Gardens State Park. The park is in Point Washington, Florida, on the Emerald Coast in the city's panhandle. Smith meets Karen and
nice.
Clint's family, a whole clan of Crockett's and Martindales. The head honcho is their
Martindales.
industrialist grandpa Jason Crockett, head of the table and leader of the bloodline. Acknowledge him! He's hated by the public
Acknowledge
and
me.
his own family for being an ornery dick. He's gathered his family here this Independence Day weekend because a bunch of them have birthdays in a row. His is the most important, of course. He even shares it with America, because it's on the 4th of July. Jason's daughter, I think, is Iris Martindale,
mother?
a spacey butterfly enthusiast who don't like the government trying to regulate their factories.
Cost millions, and our dividends will be shot to hell.
Her husband, so Jason's son-in-law, I think, is Stuart Martindale, who's a genius when it comes to getting rid of the loud-ass mother-croaking frogs.
I have suggested pouring oils on the water to choke them off. That would help, wouldn't it, Mr. Smith?
Yeah, but you'd be killing a lot of other things at the same time.
I love that because this is 1972, that had to be explained. Iris and Stu have 2 adult sons,
kidding.
Michael and Kenneth Martindale. The older brother Michael is basically Jason's personal steward and seems kinda like the punching bag of his family.
The boy's a loser.
His younger bro, Kenneth Martindale, is here with his girlfriend Bella Garrington. The 2 of them are more fashionable and hip than the others, and seem put off by Ken's hoity-toity family. Bella bonds with Mabel the maid, since they both have the same full first name. Oh, and also, cause they're sisters stranded in the whitest of white territory. As for Clint, he's got a wife named Jenny, whom he met in high school. That's when they both peaked, her as a cheerleader and him as a star football player.
Recognize old Clint?
I bet he could throw a football over the mountains. Jenny's mad that Clint's
Probably
always drunk, probably because of giving him that whiskey dick. Though, maybe not, since the lech also hits on his cousin's girlfriend right in front of his wife. Clint and Jenny have 2 undisciplined kids, Jay and Tina Crockett. They like sticking frogs in faces as much as their Uncle Mike likes tossing them around. Ribbit. I love Jason's response to getting a gigantic frog stuck in his face.
Jay, Tina, you're both late. Now go sit down and eat your food. Jay, you were right. He was gigantic.
Kid's annoying, but he's right. That was a huge croaker. These shitty kids.
Yeah. So, how much of the Crockett family do you think is going to survive all this? You think it's just going to be the patriarch alone? Everyone's going to die? Let me know, because we do know some of them are going to die since we saw the opening intro. So, I'm not sure in the 70s they do kid deaths. I mean, they did have Jaws, but we're about to find out. Let's see if the kids die.
Kids light firecrackers and throw them at the frogs, all in service of ending this non-stop soundbed of croaking.
Okay, we
It's an
get
element
it.
of
The
nature
frogs,
Jason
stop it.
hasn't found a way to control.
And with all our technology and all my money, we still can't get rid of these frogs.
The only halfway decent one among them all is Karen, probably angling for that non-existent mustache ride. Lucky for her, the phone lines are down, so Smith's gotta stick around for now. Wait, did the frogs cut the phone lines? How's Jason
don't know.
gonna dial M for murder? Also, I'm sorry, most of these aren't even frogs, they're toads! Jason respects Smith as
I
a
guess they
manly
don't care.
man, even though he's the uninvited ecologist. Still better than his miserable progeny. He asks him to go
Amen.
look for Grover, a guy he sent out earlier with pesticide to take care of the frogs. Smith finds Grover's poison and the various animal carcasses caused by it. The last dead thing he finds is Grover himself,
Grover, wow.
seemingly eaten by snakes and other various wildlife,
happened to him?
except frogs. Maybe Kermit held his fellow
So-
green boys back. I am impressed impressed by how nasty
On the shitty
Grover's
here?
face looks.
Oof.
Kind of Night of the Living Dead-ish. Well, it's right about now that Smith wants to leave, but Jason convinces him to stay the night. And why not? Who wouldn't want to hang around with a crazy motherfucker who shoots a snake off his chandelier? Yo, that bullet kept going, dude. Way to put a hole in your wall or ceiling. Between the snake attack and this group of frogs trying to get in like a bunch of
if I was
Andres,
Sam-
Smith proposes the pesticides
I
and
think-
pollution are to blame.
What if nature were trying to get back at us?
And what if you go stick
Mike
it in a
Kim.
tree? Jason sends out the little
Honestly, I think if I was Smith, I would be like, well, I'm not gonna get involved. I'm out. I'd probably just start walking. You know? Like, okay, which way to the main road? That way. Thanks. And just leave before things go to hell in a handbasket. Like, seriously. Grover's dead, snake in the house, a lot of toads. That's usually signs that something's about to go down and you don't want to stick around. Anyway.
Wiener Michael Martindale to see if he can figure out what's wrong with the phone lines. He makes a left on Lizard Lane, but since he failed to take them out with a power slide, he pulls over so he can murder some wildlife, resolving to shoot at a bird. This impromptu hunting sesh takes him deeper into the woods until he lands a hit on the rarest game of all.
Himself!
Human shin! With his jackass grounded, a whole bunch of furry tarantulas descend upon him. And is the moss attacking him? What is this? The
I don't know.
Dead? Or the happening? Either way, he's looking like a battlefield sniper in no time. And he's
Kinda
killed
does.
when the tarantulas bite him to death. Oh shit, and a scorpion,
scorpion, too.
No frogs. At least the spiders gave him some nice threads to wear to his funeral. Michael's brother Kenneth finds
Bye,
himself
Michael.
in the greenhouse, where there's a party going on with all the little lizard guys invited. Oh, make sure
I
Grinning Greg comes. That guy's a fucking hoot. Who invited Punchin' Paul, though? That dude's an asshole.
Punchin' Paul.
As with many parties, the attendees drink too
Speaking
much
of which,
and start knocking
Timber!
shit over. Like the piss-colored
And poison?
poison you really shouldn't be keeping on the top shelf like that.
Yeah,
Oh,
the
hey,
hell?
come on. That time was
That's
intentional, mister. The broken jars gassed the place up good and proper, especially since somehow these murderous reptiles closed the door. The lizards and
Yeah,
tegus
also,
lick at
shouldn't
the
he get
taste
out?
of vengeance lingering in the air as Kenneth succumbs to the gas,
And he's the
filling
next
this place
one.
faster
Bye,
than
Kenneth.
the facility level in GoldenEye. This is what happens,
that's brother's
Kenneth,
dead.
when the lizards say live and let die. Lizards.
Live and let die.
Smith finds Kenneth's body, as does his girlfriend Bella, who's been having to put up with Clint trying to grind on her and shit. Smith tells Jason about his dead grandson, and everyone runs inside to cower, except Charles the butler. He's cool.
I'd be glad to do anything I can, Mr. Smith.
Thank you, Charles.
He's extra cool because we've seen actor Lance Taylor Sr. on this show before. He was the funeral home director in
yeah,
Black and White,
him.
who had a very memorable line. Smith and Charles tend to the body as the frogs take over tea time and their America cake, which I bet has like jello inside of it. You know I'm right. Iris is still out chasing
probably.
butterflies, and because it's what you do when you're in this movie, she wanders too far into the woods. She comes across a
Yep.
rattlesnake that makes her scream. Wait, that's how you
That's a
scream?
rattlesnake.
Okay, I guess that's how you scream.
Well, we know
the
who's
wailing
next.
woman falls into a leech pit
Leech
by
pit?
the looks of it, and rips them off her skin, no salt or nothing. Eventually, a bunch of snakes snap at her, putting her down for the count and turning her skin blue. Okay, now it's more like Dawn of the Dead. Originally,
Damn.
Iris's death involved being pulled into quicksand by a giant butterfly. Footage of that
Okay,
can be
how
seen
would
in the
it-
movie's trailer, but I'm not exactly sure why they changed it. Stewart is out looking
Yeah,
for
also-
Iris, but
Okay, you had to, like, take time out. Like, giant butterfly? Yeah, I mean, I'll be real. I can see why they cut this out, because how you gonna explain a giant freaking butterfly, even with the chemicals? Jesus Christ. Like, this ain't, like, Placid. Anyway.
the guy
Hey,
can't even
crocodile.
see a
Speaking of which-
crocodile he walks right by, so I doubt he'll find
Seriously.
his wife. Stu winds up wrestling that crocodile, or at least
Why
his
you
stunt double / croc wrangler does. Holy shit. Seriously, frogs? You made a man wrestle a crocodile? Unky Stu loses the bout, turning the
Yeesh.
water red and giving that croc a snack he'll come
Yep,
back
the
to
death
later.
roll.
Probably when he wakes up at night to go
Bye,
sleep.
Stuart.
Sounds like the croc handler, whose name I can't find anywhere, was also in charge of the other animals. He'd empty a tub of frogs and get them to jump by hitting the ground with sticks. And for Michael's death, he kept the tarantulas in a cooler to chill them out and slow them down. Actor David Gilliam
Fair.
appreciated that.
They were moving pretty slow, and I didn't feel too uncomfortable.
Despite Kenneth's death and
No?
the magically disappearing Martindales, Jason refuses to veer from his plans and chalk this up as a lost weekend. This old man's a birthday boyzilla.
Year ends and the year begins. It always has, it always will.
Always? What do you mean, always?
I'm not interested in what you think.
Ah, there it is.
Yeesh.
The talented Jason
Yep,
Moran
racism.
reportedly hated shooting this film, thinking he was above it, and no doubt knowing that his career was on the downslope at this point. His on-set behavior
Harsh
was
but
described
fair.
as cold and not personable, which probably helped the actors playing his cowering family members. One thing Moran hated in particular, besides the script, was the Florida heat that kept melting the toupee off his head. Though Jason swore him to secrecy, Smith tells the family about Grover's death. He tries to calm them down with a plan to get off this island, because he ain't looking to have a tombstone here. But Jason doesn't want his family to abandon their property.
I control these people, not you.
Bella, understandably, doesn't take too kindly to that, and pretty soon Charles and Mabel are joining her and thinking it's time to go. Jason angrily
honestly,
lets them leave,
just fuck
risking
them.
their lives by having drunk Clint drive them to shore. He does so in his speedboat, only to find that the reptilian menace has already landed across the pond. Like, literally, I don't mean the UK. There's not a soul in sight here, only signs of some, like a tackle box and a nice little festive barbecue area. Things then get Hitchcockian, sending the deserters and their luggage to run away. Clint comes back to the dock to find his boat floating in the lake. The mooring line was cut, apparently by a lizard who finds that hilarious. He dives in to get to the boat. Should have sword lunged, dude. But before he can come aboard, a water snake catches up to him and kills him via the dreaded bloody hand. He sinks below the
Bloody
water and
hand.
drowns
Bye, Clint.
while his wife Jenny watches through binoculars. Jenny runs to the water, screaming for
Jenny?
her man, only to get stuck in some muck. She screams her fucking lungs out as a giant turtle, not frog, approaches. She's killed off
Turtle?
screen.
Really?
But we do get to see the carnage a little later when Smith finds her body in the water. Bad
boy.
case of crabs there, huh, Jen? Still not
Yeah,
frogs.
little
The frogs
crabs.
are doing their part, I guess, non-lethally menacing the people inside the house. It's just Jason, Smith, Karen, and these newly orphaned kids now. And everyone wants to leave except Jason, who's still being a little birthday bitch.
You want to leave? Go. Go on, get the hell out of here.
Those kids are like, okay. Karen can't
Okay,
convince
bye.
the last dinosaur to budge, so they say their goodbyes and leave. Jeez, don't let those kids step on any of the frogs, please.
Watch out for the frogs.
Yeah, you tell them. They reach the water and hop into a canoe, then have a violent aquatic adventure as Smith beats a snake with an oar and shoots a croc. Damn, dude. I guess he'd
Yeah,
rather
sure.
be the quick than the dead. When they reach the dock, they find nobody there. Quick, kids, awkwardly march around trying to find someone. Around the back of a shack, they sadly come across a bunch of bloody luggage.
Yep, they're
Hate that
done.
this is the case, but I'm gonna count Bella, Charles, and Mabel as dead, since it's pretty strongly implied here. Smith
All right,
flags
guys.
down a car on the road, and he, Karen, and the kids load inside. It's a station wagon driven by a mom with her son Bobby.
Hi, I'm Bobby.
Hi, Bobby. Wait a minute, Bobby. What do you have there? Oh no, it's a frog! Despite that freeze frame, we've still got to wrap things up with old Crockety Jason. He's alone in his house, aside from his good boy Colonel, as the frogs crash the place and mess up his tunes. Wait, what? Are the frogs calling him? I don't know, man. In this movie,
What's going on
fucking
here?
maybe. The frogs overcome his home as his various mounted animal heads stare down at him. The croaking overwhelms the discordant noises on the soundtrack as Jason falls from his chair and is buried in frogs, including this chonker. The movie ends with Jason Crockett killed by frogs. Fucking finally! Apparently, this
kidding.
death scene needed a body double since Ray Milland got sick of shooting the movie and left 3 days before production wrapped. The movie
Shit.
ends with an animated frog eating a hand. He does exist. How many people were
Yeah,
killed
we
by a
do.
bunch of animals who mostly weren't frogs? Let's find out.
find out.
Up to the
Get some.
numbers.
I'm sleeping.
There were 11 deaths in frogs, with the victims consisting of 7
Surprisingly,
men
the
and
kid
4
and
women.
the
Nearly as
sister
much
survived.
green in this pie chart as there were frog kills in the movie. We've seen this count and gender breakdown thrice
Yeah,
before on
6,
this show.
Leprechaun
Once
2,
with another
nice.
green killer.
Blood Rage.
With a runtime of 90 minutes, frogs gave us a kill on average every 8.18 minutes. I'll give the golden chainsaw for coolest kill to Kenneth Martindale. I love
yeah.
a good croc fight as much as the next guy, but I can't ignore the hilarity of these lizards trapping a guy in a greenhouse so they can poison him to death. Even they
And
know
then
it's
it's
funny.
like-
The only credit for lamest kill goes to Bella, Mabel, and Charles. who
Oh, yeah,
were
we don't even know what
presumably killed
happened
off
to
screen, but without any bodies to prove it either way. And that's
Yeah,
it.
hell?
Frogs came out in 1972, and I didn't know about it until we covered it on the podcast
Yeah,
in
even I didn't
2020
know about
as
it.
part of our Creature Feature Summer Series. I'll probably be back to hosting the kill count in June, but in the meantime, Uncle Zoran's got you covered. Next week, he'll be covering Deep Rising, because I
Oh,
guess
sure.
you love them tentacles. And after that, he'll be doing The Collector and The Collection. Those are highly requested
Yo.
episodes, and he'll be a better host for them. I didn't particularly care for those films. Until I see you again, I'm James A. Janice. This has been The Kill Count. Thanks for watching this kill.
Huh. Honestly, I thought it was that shark movie, but I think I was thinking a different deep movie, huh? Sorry, I had the double check to see what that was called again, because frankly, oh, Deep Rising. Huh. I might have to look at that one. I think I remember there was like a film where maybe this is the one, but I'm not too sure. Like there was this horror film, like it was like they were working on a probe. They were like, it was like their fears come to life or something, but I don't know. I don't know if it's this one or a different one. This could be Cthulhu. I don't know. Wouldn't be surprised if Zoran actually did cover a Cthulhu movie. Be up his alley, I think. Anyway, until next time, guys. Thanks for watching. See ya.